So, if you're like an average person, going to the dentist is never a very pleasant experience. But imagine you go in there one day, and instead of being told that, hey, you have a cavity, you're informed that you actually have a cancerous growth in your mouth. This is the grim news that a lot of people are receiving every day from their dentist due to their use of chewing tobacco. Chewing tobacco is a very harmful form of smokeless tobacco that is very widespread in the United States. Today, we are going to explain a lot of the dangers and health complications that can result from using chewing tobacco, as well as how we can actually combat it.
There are many terrible effects that come from using tobacco. Many people believe that chewing tobacco is a healthier alternative to smoking cigarettes. But according to the American Cancer Society and the American Dental Association, this is not true. Tooth decay is one of the first things people will notice when chewing tobacco. Chewing tobacco contains grit and sand, which wear away at your teeth. Also, the chewing tobacco contains added sugars to enhance the taste of it. But this, as it sits on your teeth, causes cavities and tooth decay much easier. Gum disease is another problem that people are faced with when using chewing tobacco. A regular user can notice changes in their gums with only 2 to 3 months. And it causes the gums to recede from the teeth, which then again leads to tooth decay even easier. If tooth decay and gum disease aren't serious enough problems from stopping you from using chewing tobacco, then there's an even more serious problem that you may want to be worried about. According to the American Dental Association, people who chew tobacco once in a while have 4 times more of a chance of developing cancer than do non-users. And for people who chew tobacco 3 or more times a week for over a year, have twice as much likelihood of developing cancer than do non-users. An example of someone who's gotten cancer from chewing tobacco is Sean Marcy, who was a 19-year-old high school student from Wisconsin, or Oklahoma. He chewed tobacco from age 12 to 18 years old. During his senior year in high school, he was told that he had oral cancer. Doctors had to do many operations trying to get the cancer out of his body. They had to take out 3/4 of his tongue, some of his neck muscles, his lymph nodes, and part of his jawbone. As you can see on the pictures, this guy had his part of his jawbone taken out, and that's what cancer looks like on your bottom lip, and those are rotten teeth from chewing tobacco. And so as you can see, there are terrible effects that come from chewing tobacco.
Okay, so now that you know some of the side effects that can happen when you chew tobacco, you might wonder, well, what can I do about it? Well, there's lots we can do about it. The effects of chewing tobacco are a personal and public health issue. We can start by educating the future generations about the effects of tobacco so they can make better choices when they're presented with these, when people are peer pressuring them. And while we need to educate the youth, it's also important that we don't leave out people who are already addicted. They also need help as well. We want to protect our children from these horrible truths and photographs and what can happen, but the truth is we have to have honest and open conversations with them about these things. I think that to make this a less desirable habit, they should impose a tax on chewing tobacco, so it'll make it less desirable. Now, if that does end up happening, though, I feel that every penny that goes from that tax should be implemented towards a program for education or for helping people kick their tobacco habit. Now, selling a child tobacco or even a young adult tobacco that's underage is the same thing as selling them cancer. They have fines now in California. The first offense is $1,500, second offense is $6,000. But I would ask you, would you think if somebody sold your child or your niece or nephew or even the neighbor's child a can of these toxins that can cause something like this on their lip or cause them to have surgery where they remove part of their jawbone, $1,500 is enough of a punishment for doing something like this? I think it's not, and I'm sure many of you would agree with me. Because of that, I would urge all of you to write your legislators and tell them that we would like more done as far as the punishments. Another very popular area for chewing tobacco is sports. our athletes are very influential on our children today, and they have a responsibility to be a good influence on them. There is a team already called the Kansas City Royals, and they have taken note of this problem, and they have already made a policy where their players are not to chew on the field, but they chew bubble gum instead. And I think that if more sports teams took note of this problem and implemented the same types of things, it would really have an impact. According to the American Dental Association, over 3/4 of the children that ever even consider chewing tobacco only do so because they see their role models partaking. So that would help, and also we can make a difference by writing our favorite teams and letting them know that we would like them to take a look at the situation and maybe mirror what the Royals have done. But no matter how big or small the action that you take, whether it's writing your legislator or talking to people about it, every little bit counts.
So, in conclusion, chewing tobacco is an extremely harmful product and just a very nasty habit overall. It can lead to many chronic diseases, tooth decay, as well as addiction. We have informed you of the terrible side effects and health complications, and as well as some many ways to stop the use overall. And next time you ever consider using chewing tobacco, just remember it is not a safer alternative to cigarettes, and it leads to very immediate, long-lasting effects, such as all these cancers here. And thank you.